Bougie Babes, it's your girl, Erica Patrice, and I'm giving you your first bougie story time. So, this story time is unique because I have my little brother here with us. Say hey, Will.
What's going on, family?
So, Will has done multiple Facebook lives, YouTube lives, but he's never done. Have you done an episode, Will? Have we done an episode?
I've done an episode like a couple early on.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Awesome. So, this story time is very near and dear to our hearts because it is about our family. Back in 2015, we took a trip to New York City. And at the time, I was knee deep in plus size modeling, and I was casted for Full Figure Fashion Week. So, 2015, I'm casted for Full Figure Fashion Week. I've been trying for years, and it was a dynamic year for me as a whole because actually Fashion Week in September. You didn't come for that, Will. It was me, mom, Alicia, and dad.
Right.
So that was an adventure, but it wasn't anything like the trip to New York City for Full Figure Fashion Week. So I've been trying for years, and I finally made it. And one of the things I used to tell my grandmothers was when I make it, I'm gonna make sure the whole family comes. I'm gonna invite the whole family. So at that point, we just had one grandmother left, and she was one of the first people I called when I made it. And she said, I'm coming, and lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. So the minute I told her I made it, my aunts, who are also in Charlotte, they said, not a word, not a problem, honey. We're going to be there. We got it. We're going to bring grandma up. We're going to turn up in New York City. It was turn up time. Will, do you even remember how you felt? Did you care that I made it in the Full Fig Fashion Week?
I care because I was like, okay, I can wear my little spiffy blazers and stuff like that. I can, I can do my own little thing up there too. So I was excited as well. Plus, of course, to support you in your first show. So
Yeah, it was the first big show because I had been doing
first big show. Yeah,
I've been doing well. Fashion Week was pretty big, but Will didn't attend that, and I was modeling for Ashley Stewart at that time. Corporate Ashley Stewart corporate. So it was just a huge deal. It was one of the shows I've just been working so hard for, and I think we had maybe 2 months to prepare, almost 2 months, maybe almost 2 months. Maybe like a month and a week or something like that. So my dad, we just gonna call him JB. He is a wonderful dad. He is the Energizer Bunny. He is just all the above. He began to immediately stress me out when he found out I called grandma and invited her to Fashion Week. It was like stress mode 1000 in this house.
because Dad is a little, I wouldn't say controlling. He likes to take the lead on stuff, and so especially something involving his mother.
Woo!
He and it being in New York City.
Yes, Lord.
Her first time.
Oh my God.
So and plus she was wheelchair, not wheelchair bound, but
right.
she had her wheelchair and her walker. So therefore, him planning for her to be in New York City stressed him out. Therefore, it stressed everyone out.
And I can laugh. Let me tell y'all something. It took me 5-6 years to be able to laugh about this trip because I was so upset. I was so pissed. But yes, grandma, she was definitely mobile, but she had like a walker seat, like so she could walk with it and then turn it around and sit down in it.
Right.
So I get in the show. I'm preparing. I'm already stressed out because I want to make sure I have everything I need for this grand show. But at the exact same time, my daddy, bless him now, he a good man, but he was killing it because he was like, well, my mama and we just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is about to be crazy. I felt it in my
Mm-hmm.
bones. So
Yes.
I left for New York City that Monday
Mm-hmm.
evening. Shout out to my godmother, my Aunt Val. She came up there and we made it through the week. It was already a thing through the week. I mean, Full Figure Fashion Week, it was on and popping, honey. Had a great time. Did the white cruise, I walked on the boat too. It's a huge event for the plus size community and the fashion industry as a whole. So it's wonderful to see all of these women that are doing amazing things. And even to this day, a lot of these women that I met are still out here rocking it and making it happen. So it was just dope, amazing, all of that. So Will, I couldn't remember. Did you all come to town Thursday or Friday morning?
It was either Thursday or Friday morning. It was one of the two.
Because
it was.
Maybe it was Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean Friday.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. It was Friday. It was Friday because what day was the show on? Saturday.
Friday. It was Friday and Saturday. It was 2 days. So all I remember is
it may have been Friday morning when we came up. Yeah.
So I'm assuming grandma and everybody came up from Charlotte, spent the night here, and then went on up to New York City.
Yeah.
So baby, listen. I if I'm not mistaken, I was able to see my family for a little bit before I went to the call time.
Yes.
To meet with the rest of the production and get ready for the first show. So all I remember is I'm with my fellow models and my daddy calls me, we here, but it ain't nowhere to park.
That's right.
Nowhere to park.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's stressor number one. Where the hell we gonna park that?
He said, Eric, because we're in the financial district, so that's Lower Manhattan. Yeah. It's not as crowded as
like
Times Square. No, it's actually kind of cute. It's cute. Also, we have to relate. It was a couple things working against us. The train. Was not running consistently to the financial district. There was construction.
Whatever that stop was, the stop near us up the street. Yeah, that thing was down, shouty.
Nope, it wasn't working.
We were Ubering everywhere.
But we took a cab.
We'll get there.
And then at the hotel, it was a new Holiday Inn at the time. It had 4 elevators. Only one was. I thought it was like 4.
It was 2.
It was 2, and at all times it would only be one barely working.
Yes, but both were working in the beginning. One broke at the end, but we'll get there.
So stressed out. So I don't know how it was with both SUVs pulling into New York City. I was at the venue.
We parked a couple of blocks away. We didn't park far, but we parked a ways away because I remember Dad. It was one of those garages where the cars park on top. They're on top of each other and stuff like that. So I remember Dad was talking to the guy. He was like, "We can leave it here, right? We're gonna be here for a couple of days, and okay, you gonna park? Okay, all right, okay." You know what I'm saying? So I think after that, I thought Dad was okay. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, we parked. We in the hotel. We should be good. We were not.
We would just get started. So I don't know how they got to the venue. Did you all walk, Will? Okay, y'all took a cab.
Now that I think we did
because
I remember
Uber.
the show.
Yes.
The where the show was. I think we did walk. Grandma, she didn't go to the shows, right?
She did. She went to both.
She did.
Yes, she did.
I don't know how she got there.
She took a cab.
Maybe she did take a. She had to take a cab. I remember
She
us
took a
walking.
cab.
I
Yes.
remember us walking and getting to like the brick, it was like brick road or something like that,
Yeah.
and everything.
Stock
So yeah,
exchange.
yeah, the stock exchange. Yeah, so I think, I think we walked, but Grandma and them, I think they took a cab. I can't remember. Yeah, I think
Yes.
they did take a cab.
So they took a cab. Well, my two aunts who are thick like me, and my dad, because my dad wouldn't really necessarily allow them to just take a cab, he had to go too. So that made 4 full-grown thick adults in taxi cabs. Now, mind you,
with the elderly woman
and her walker, child,
and her walker.
So they made it to the show Friday, killed it. It was a fantastic time.
Beautiful.
We go back to the hotel.
Yes.
Now this is breakdown number 1. Well, number 2, because first it was parking, but here is the breakdown. So it's a restaurant across the street. Now, my dad is about, my parents, depending on what's going on, they're about convenience. But mostly my dad. He ain't nowhere else to go. He go to this restaurant across the street.
Literally, right across the street. You walk out the hotel, it is right there.
It was an outdoor restaurant, and William decides to have. William had a bitch fit, and I did not know why.
Because, we ate there in the morning, afternoon, whatever. I don't know. We ate there. A really nice place. After your first show, we all made up. I got on my blazer and stuff like that. I'm feeling real good about myself. I'm thinking we about to go somewhere, so I can really, just show off my outfit. Erica, she got on her stuff. We all did up and stuff like that. Yeah, Grandma, she'll probably go to bed. Yes, So I'm like, okay, we're about to go somewhere. Where do we go? To the same damn restaurant, right across the street.
But see, I didn't know that they went. I didn't know they went earlier in the day. But William was so mad because I was like, Will, I just closed out my first night of Full Figure Fashion Week. Why are you losing your mind? And he was like, oh, hell no. And I think you ordered your food or something, and then you went to the room. It was so bad. But again, my dad is like, there go the restaurant right there.
We're going to go to the same spot right across the street that we went there this morning. We're going to act like we ain't never been here before. Hey, it's us again.
He sure did say, it's us again.
What's your dinner menu? It's the same thing from this afternoon? Okay, good to go. It was okay. Yeah, convenience, I understand, but we was just here. We are in New York City. Why are we eating at the same place? We just came from a good show. It's a nice night. We all did up. Like I said, I got on my blazer and stuff like that. Erica, you got on what you had on. The aunties got on what they had on. Everybody was dead up. Why was we going to the same restaurant that we
William, long story short, William had a fit. Okay. So here we go. We go to bed, and here comes Saturday. This is one of the longest days of my life. By far, one of the longest days of my life. And it was because it's a mix between William, Daddy, and just New York City at its best. I just don't even know I don't know. So I go, my dad walks me to the venue Saturday. He hype. He done got him a little sleep. He's skipping through New York City. He like, yeah. Shout out to one of my model friends. I ain't even gonna say her name because this was real crazy. So she saw me walk with my dad into the venue, and in front of everybody, she said, "Your father, I didn't know your father was white." And I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." She said, "I didn't know your father was white." And I said, "Oh, no, he's black. He's just fair." She said, "Your father is white." So that was a 10-minute conversation in the venue. So she know who she is. I love her to death. She's a DMV model as well. So I had dealt with that coming in the door that day. Makeup, you name it. It was a whole adventure up in there. And then I get this disturbing text from William. He basically, in his craziest of ways, relayed to me that his stomach failed him. You want to explain what you did? Where your stomach failed you?
We're gonna have to have a whole episode called. I think we already did. We already had this. It's like when your body fails you or something like that. Whatever. We gonna need a part two. But anyways, so earlier that day, Erica, you weren't there, obviously. Well, no. As a matter
No,
of
I
fact, you were
wasn't
there.
there. I
You
wasn't at the
wasn't there.
restaurant.
Okay.
I was at the venue
So
already.
okay. So I meet up with my parents and the rest of the family at a breakfast spot up the street. And I helped my aunt Val um out of I carry her bags because she was leaving that morning or that afternoon. So she brought her bags to the restaurant and I carried it for her. And so we get to the restaurant. It's a good time, good vibes and stuff like that. I made the mistake by ordering too much let me see, too much fiber, too much stuff.
Protein.
Okay,
That's
I
eggs.
ordered
Eggs, protein.
okay, protein, not fiber. My goodness, yeah. Too much eggs. I ordered an omelet and I think it was something else. It was like either cheese grits. It was something in the
You
and it looked like they go
I
ahead.
thought you had an omelet and scrambled eggs with cheese. That's what you told
Yeah,
me. You
okay.
said,
Omelet and scrambled eggs with cheese, and it looked like they literally took the cheese out of the wrap and threw it on there and microwaved it because that cheese was thick, sitting on top of the eggs. Okay, and so I eat the whole entire thing. We're sitting there chilling. I'm like, I don't feel too good. Like my stomach is something that just does not feel right. And so I'm like, all right, y'all. So I'm about to go back down to the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to use the bathroom here because it's gonna be a little while, okay? Um, so my Aunt Val is like, oh no, I'll walk out with you. I'm like, come on, Val, we got to go right now. We leave. Thank God she didn't need me to walk her to the train station and stuff like that, because I wasn't gonna make it. So as I'm walking down the street to the hotel, and literally it's down the street, it's because it's a slope, it's a hill.
it's a
I'm
slope.
walking down,
Yes.
I'm walking down the street, and my I'm sorry to the viewers and stuff like that, but pretty much my gluteus maximus started to
Cramp. Was it percolating? It was
cramp.
percolating.
It was cramping. Okay, my gluteus maximus, and you can just imagine, it was starting to cramp. And so I'm like, oh shoot. So therefore I'm doing a little, how you holding your butt, you doing a little
You were
hop
you
step
were
and stuff like
prairie
that.
dogging all
I
the
was
way back to
praying
the
dog
hotel.
all the way to the hotel. So I'm like, please God, please. I started to sweat and stuff like that. I clicked the elevator. Click to get on the elevator and stuff like that. The elevator was going slow. Finally, the elevator came, but a lady, she was about to get on with me. So I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I went to the bathroom in the restaurant bar. Thank God no one was in there. I walked into the bathroom. Mind you, my gluteus maximus is still doing like this. Okay. Um,
But see, our listeners don't see it. William is, if you come to our YouTube page and you come view this, William is doing like a paw wiggle fingers type thing where it's
yes.
like it's almost like his whole must have been wiggling and flexing in this
You
time.
know what? I'm just gonna go throw it out there. My booty hole was like it was cramping. Whatever that was knocking at the door was trying to get through with the quickness. Therefore, the walls of my booty hole started to cramp. And for our viewers out there, if you know what I'm talking about, if your booty hole has ever cramped before, okay? Imagine that happening every 10 seconds. So, anyways, we get to the bathroom. It's still cramping. You know what I'm saying? And me with public bathrooms, I was taking the toilet tissue. I was wiping the toilet I was on my knees wiping the toilet. Okay, the cramps were so strong. It put me on my knees as I was wiping the toilet.
But why were you wiping it versus why you just didn't put the TP down? Like what?
No, listen, I have a routine when I use public bathrooms. First, I take toilet tissue, I wipe around the rim of the toilet, and then I lay everything down and sit.
Oh.
I was able to cover up half of the toilet seat because it was knocking at the door. Ladies and gentlemen, what I had was a volcano. A volcano. What's one of those huge eruptions that's happened within the what was the one in Washington? I had a Mount St. Helens in the bathroom. Okay.
And this is all because he did. Okay, he took a picture.
I took a picture and I sent it to everybody. I sent the picture to the whole thing. Yes, I did. It looked like a massacre in that.
I don't know why he did that, because I'm again, I am at the venue. I'm getting my hair and makeup done. I'm amongst other models, and I open my phone. I'm thinking I'm getting a family picture. I'm thinking I'm getting something cute. I open it, and I'm around the other models, and everybody is like, "What is that?" And I'm just like,
it was a death.
William decides to send the massacre to my phone, and I'm just like, okay. But when now hindsight 2020, it was supposed to happen because it was just the kind of day that it was. So
that was the type of day. Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
So William does that, right?
Yes.
So I'm getting ready for the show. I was originally supposed to have like 2 or 3 scenes that day. I had 3 scenes the day before. Scenes meaning I was going to be dressed by 2 to 3 designers that I've already fitted for, okay? And I was already stressed, because we had family in town. It was all of that happening. So during the fitting, or something happened that day, what William wouldn't know is a couple of my designers got taken away from me because other models were sneakingly shopping with other designers. Meaning, let's say the designers choose you to work with them, but then what you're supposed to do, and the rules were, once you have your designers and you fitted for them, go sit down. Don't try to get more designers, because what happens is it takes away from other models. So it's just a little trivial. So I saw it happening before my very eyes. Other models would come into the designers I was working for and were showing them their body and was like, hi, I want to give you my comp card. I want to do this and that. Next thing you know, they'll look over at me and be like, you know what? Try on her outfit. And I'm like, that's my outfit. So I had a few outfits taken to the point where I was down to 1 scene. 1. Now, this is the day I had girlfriends coming into town. I had more people coming to see me. I went all the way down to 1 scene. So on top of being stressed, on top of everything, my feelings are crushed because the last day of the show, I walked 1 time, and then on top of it, it's like the last designer of the day. I was so hurt. So I sat through the whole show just in disgust. Like, oh my gosh, these girls, they took my designer. So I killed it. We were done. So we were leaving. I took pictures with my friends, with my family. We had an amazing time. We get to the hotel. But between then, my daddy had to call a cab for him, grandma, and my 2 aunts.
Yes. And it's a day.
Now, mind you, my aunts are thick. We all on the thick side. So they in the back seat. Daddy put grandma up front. So therefore, he couldn't fit in the back. So what he had to do was he had to lay across their lap to get in the sedan. Okay,
I wish
so
someone came across and took a picture of that and sent the picture to everybody.
so they squished into the car, got back to the hotel. So he's already still stressed because all my daddy's thinking about is how is he going to get to and fro. He ain't think about the show. He ain't think about nothing else. All he thinks about, because all the trips we've been on, because we have another New York, New Jersey trip where it was the same issue. To and fro.
Whew, yes.
And what made it and that's with our other grandma, God bless, just bless them both. They have since passed. God bless them, honey. But we got a story with both grandmas. Okay, so
I know they in heaven right now, cracking up. Yes.
So
they in heaven right now, cracking up about this one.
We get back to the hotel. We're all in the lobby. Everybody's in the lobby because, again, the elevators are down.
It's down to one.
But I don't even think the one was currently working at that second. So everybody's in the lobby. People have their luggage, suitcase, everything. It was a lot going on. So Dad goes to push the button and he just got mad. And he turned around, looked at me and said, I ain't never coming to New York City again. And then he just walks away. I'm going to just tell y'all, I can't even tell you what was happening. I went off. I had already been stressed for a couple months. The stress of getting grandma to New York. The stress of the actual weekend being here, the hurt from having my designers taken away from me, and then Dad, just not thinking, just decides to have a little tizzy and say it towards
never
me.
Come to New York City no more.
And I just felt so I could not help my emotions. All I know is I laughed. I went, really? And I went off. My mom said I was cussing, fussing, slapping, throwing, I lost it. I have never blacked out.
You definitely cursed Dad out. I'm just going to repeat what she said, ladies and gentlemen. What I heard. She was like, shut the F up, Dad. Just shut the F up. Just shut the F up. Just shut the F up. When I tell you, everybody in the lobby was like.
But here's the thing. Dad walked away and didn't see the tornado I did in the lobby. Near the elevator. I did a full meltdown. I just melted down. And all I can remember is Mom making me sit down near one of the computers and she's saying, Erica. Calm down. And I was like, and I just start screaming. And next thing you know, I noticed I noticed my brother, my sister, my friend Toya, and Patrice were missing. They walked away.
That's because we went straight to the bar. We needed drinks after that.
So they got missing.
I was like, y'all want to go to the bar? Yes, let's go to the bar. Mm-hmm. That's when we proceeded to the bar. Even Alicia, Alicia at that time wasn't really drinking.
She was 21. She was 21. Yeah, she wasn't really 21.
She was just dipping her feet into alcohol. But even Alicia had a couple of drinks. I had a couple of beers. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
So I didn't know what they did because they got missing. So then my mom pulls me and Dad outside and she's like, she's talking to Dad about how he stressed me out. And it was an open conversation about how I felt and we were fine. But honey, the cuss down that I did in that lobby, we just gonna pray that when I go to heaven, God don't ask me, so what was this? How you gonna treat your daddy like this?
Yeah, cuss your daddy smooth out the hotel.
So I had a meltdown, but y'all, this is not the end of the story. You would think that this was the end of the night ended with a bang. It was just getting started. So we decide to help Patrice get to the bus station because she took the bus from Maryland. And we were like, oh, we're just going to go to Times Square and just live it up the last night.
Yeah.
Okay. The trains were acting up. Well, the trains were on limited service because it was construction going to Lower Manhattan. And like I said, I was not at the bar with my siblings and my friends. So when it was time for us to get on the train, we kept missing the train that was showing up every 40 minutes because unfortunately,
yes, I had bladder issues. I had bladder control, bladder issues going on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So when I drink beer, it literally just runs right through me. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no stoppage. There is no taking this time to just sit there and just chill. No. The beer goes straight through my body, straight to my bladder, and out my little wiener, and it's that quick. Okay. And as soon as we left the hotel, mind you, I already used the bathroom about 3-4 times.
Thank you.
We get to the train. We get to the train. We get to the train station. Now I know why. New York is. I'm sorry, no disrespect to everybody that's from New York, but I'm pretty sure y'all seen a lot of stuff in the subway system, and that a lot of stuff was probably me because I literally pissed in the subway before we got on the train. We missed about 2-3 trains. Okay, we finally got on the train. Okay, we finally get to Times Square. But what happens? I have to piss again. I try to go into an office building. Of course, they're like, "No, you can't come here to use the bathroom."
Times Square was dead.
Times Square was dead. Everything was dead. I don't know what was going on this weekend, but literally everything was closed. Okay, it was early. I'm like, okay, we're in freaking New York. Why is stuff closed like 8:00? You know what I'm saying? What is going on? So again, yes, I had to pee again. Therefore, I had no choice but to go back down the subway and piss on the steps.
And I was embarrassed because I was just like, why? I said, Alicia, which my sister, I said, what were y'all doing at the bar? Like, what? And Alicia was like, honey, I don't know. Patrice and Toya, they good to go. They like, girl, I don't know. I don't know. And so Will is dressed to the nines, running around with them little skinny legs, keep trying to find somewhere to pee. And girl, honey, listen. So at this point, I was more than sure Patrice was not going to catch her bus. But she said, yeah, let's go get some pizza. We found a pizza spot. We sit down. And I'm like, Patrice, you got 15 minutes to get to this bus. She said, no worries. I'm going to make it. Long story short, I think she missed it. She missed her bus. But we didn't know at that moment that she missed it because we were trying to make our way back to Lower Manhattan, which turned into the trip from hell for real. So we're trying to flag a taxi cab. We can't find a van. And it's 5 of us, right? At this point, because Mari was with us. Our cousin was with us, who I keep forgetting was there. She was just super quiet, but I'm sure she has a lot to say about this trip. So it was 5 of us, right? Or was it 6?
Yeah, it was like 5 of us. Because when the cab pulled up, Alicia had a little. She got into it with the cab driver because I think her numbers were off. I think she was pulling up the wrong numbers.
She said we got
5 people.
So what my brother is
everybody, you don't see us right now. We putting up 4 fingers. Alicia was like, Alicia said confidently to the cab driver, we got 5 people, but she was putting up 4 fingers. She was like, can this nigga count? We got 5 people.
And I'm looking at her like, Alicia, it's 5.
You got 4 fingers. It's 5 of us, yes, but you got 4 fingers up.
the man he drove away because we couldn't
Yes, he
get
drove away.
nobody. We couldn't
Correct.
get nobody to pull over for us to save our lives. So y'all, listen. So we start walking. Why in the world does it start raining? William, do you remember that? It started raining.
Yeah, it started raining. We walking. We literally just walking at that point for like a good maybe like 5 blocks. You know what I'm saying? We were just walking, and and then somebody called the Uber. You know what I'm
No,
saying? And
no, we didn't get to Uber yet. Because I
uh-huh.
don't think Uber was slightly new. But you know what we
Mm-hmm.
did? We found a train station. We
Right.
took that for another 10 blocks.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So we got out of the rain for a little bit, but when we got out, we realized we were closer, but we weren't that close.
Right.
Then we figured out, I think it was Latoya who maybe figured out Uber, or we were able to flag down this little tiny hybrid car. Now, mind you, it's 5 of us. And it was
It's kind of tight.
we had to make a way out of no way in that
But luckily, I
cab.
sat in the front. I sat in the front.
No, I thought I was in the front,
I sat in
and
the front. It was like because I remember it was an African dude, and I sat in the front with him. I remember.
and I thought it was me, but somebody must have been in the trunk. It was listen, honey. We figured out how to get him to the hotel. This was a brand new hotel, Lower Manhattan. It's near the 9/11 area, and it's almost like people didn't drive around there much.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy. We finally get back to the hotel. I was thinking to myself, nobody's gonna believe what we've been through today. Nobody.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
We get to the room. We're thinking mom and dad are asleep. So my godmother was gone. So I had to sleep in a double room with my parents and my brother and sister. So it was 5 of us in a little tight Connex box room. God.
That's right. The room, of course, anybody that that's been to New York City and stayed there and stuff like that, the hotel rooms are the size of a closet. Even if it's a double bedroom, it's still the size of a closet. You know what I'm
Awful.
saying? It's very small. So like Erica said, we thought mom and dad were asleep. We get to the room, we open up the door, and there we see my father in his bedclothes, standing there, hitting
With a
his
Charlie
bed
horse.
because he had a Charlie horse. All you hear is
Like 3 in the morning, and he lights on. He's just slapping that little yellow leg. He got a Charlie horse. But you know what I realized? Every time we've ever gone to New York City for my castings, my shows, it don't matter what it is, he catches a Charlie horse. Every single trip, every single show, my dad catches a Charlie horse in New York City. I don't know what it is. So he gets a Charlie horse. We think it's funny. Me, William, and Alicia get in one bed.
One bed, ladies and gentlemen. One bed.
And I'm sleep on top of the air conditioning machine because William, we're head to foot. So William's feet are in my face, and my sister is disrespectful, laying on her back as me and William barely hang on to the bed.
My head was dangling off the edge of the bed. Not the edge, but it was dangling out the bottom of the bed because I'm in the middle facing down. Eric and Alicia on each side of me, with their head, sleeping upright and stuff like that in the bed. So my head, if you were to walk into the room, all you see is my little head dangling off of the end of the bed. So
it was a disaster. At least my sister was sleeping so good. My sister was sleeping so good on her back. So, we thinking we going to sleep. It's about almost 4 in the morning. What do you hear? The lights are off.
It's very quiet. It's very quiet. By that time, I'm just like, you know what? F it. We're going home in the morning or in a couple of hours. How worse can it get? We're going home. But it's quiet. And all you hear is this. Ow! 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 ladies and gentlemen, my mother proceeds to catch a Charlie horse in the bed in the middle of the night. It is 6. Ladies and gentlemen, it is like 5:30 in the morning. That's all you hear. We're like, Mama, are you okay? She's like, she's fine. You know, she has to stretch out and stuff like that. I turn around, I look outside, the sun is coming up.
We ain't get no sleep.
We ain't getting out of damn.
And then we think we going back to sleep.
Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, Alicia proceeds to catch the Charlie horse. So it was open season for Charlie horses on the Belton family that night, not that weekend, that night. Okay, I was like, damn, is Erica next? Am I next? I knew if I would have caught a Charlie horse, I was like, dang, something is going on because I never catch Charlie horses. But yes, ladies and gentlemen,
I've caught them in the past, but this was an epidemic. I mean, we could not get to sleep because of all the Charlie horses that was
going around.
But it don't end there, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, we got good country folk with us. Plus, to be fair, my family had to get back to Charlotte. And then my immediate family, we do have a family vacation planned that weekend in Virginia Beach all the time, every year. So we had to get up early. I didn't want to, but I got up early anyway. So we all get to the elevator again. The broken elevator. Now, Will, I don't remember seeing you at one point. You must have been able to go down, but
I wasn't with y'all.
Me, my aunties, my sister, we're in the elevator about to fight people because they didn't want the elevator to keep. We had to come up with a plan because we waited for like 2 hours for an elevator. 2 hours because it was only down to one elevator for 50 something floors on a Sunday. So we had to get grandma down. Lord knows we had to get my grandma down so my daddy could stop having a conniption. And then at one point, my aunts were just focusing on making sure we could get on. So they would stay on the elevator and make sure it came back up to get us because it was awful. But I knew it was a real trip because me and one of my aunties was real life on the elevator threatening people because we thought we was going to have to fight.
That's right.
We was having to fight these people on the elevator. That's when I said, you know what? We need to get out of New York City immediately. Like,
yes.
I mean, I went to New York City many other times after that for fashion events. I went with maybe like one other person, but that was our last full family trip to New York for a fashion event. Now, I don't know what we would do if we go in the next couple of years.
You know, the good thing is that, you know, Shay and I, we have our own means of transportation and stuff like that. So we'll get our own room and everything, whatever and so forth.
Okay. You think this wouldn't happen to you again, huh? Yeah.
No, definitely not. You know, and mom and dad will probably get their own room. You know, Alicia and Jerry probably get their own room. So I think overall, you know, the aunts and the cousins, everybody will have their own room. Everybody will be, you know, transportation. They'll be their own means of transportation. Rooms, their own rooms with their own money and stuff like that. You know, I think everybody will just be flowing on their own the next time, you know, this happens and stuff like that, you know. So I think the next time it will go smoothly. I would assume so. You know, Dad, you know, he can't really be like, you know, I'm taking control and stuff like that because he won't have. I mean, what control will he really have except for just him and mom?
Okay, that's what you say right now. But
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but you know.
Shout out to our dad JB because Lord have mercy, and shout out to my mom because I don't even remember how
mom always keeps a level head a lot of times, you know, as long as it's not her getting worked up, you know what I'm saying? But you know, if everybody else around her is going crazy, mom is more the level-headed person, like, come on, okay, everybody calm down, you know, stop screaming and yelling at each other, you know, mom is that person, you know. So
yes.
Yeah, so I only had that one slip up. Two slip ups with me. You know,
Three.
being
He
mad
was having a fit,
at
had
the
the
restaurant,
pee
had
gate,
to
poop
explode.
gate, everything, child.
Yeah, I had the restaurant gate, the poo poo gate, and the pee pee gate. So I had all of the weird. Uh,
Listen, hold on, I can't hear you. You must have disconnected. I can't hear you. So listen, while he gets
Hello.
himself, yes, I can hear you now. So this episode, we can't say it was my daddy acting up, because real talk, my brother was acting up real bad too during this trip. I mean, it was the men that ripped their drawers during this trip. Okay. But brother, I had so much fun. We had an amazing. We have amazing family stories. I will have to bring him, and maybe I can even convince my sister to come to do a couple of episodes to talk about some of these things, because we have some family stories that will blow you away at this point. But again, thank you to my brother Willie B for coming on. We hope you enjoyed our bougie our bougie story time. The next episode you should hear Kevin or Johnny's come up on the mic to tell you their story time. But again, we're gearing up for season 3. Let us know what your favorite episodes are, and let us know if you have enjoyed these story times. And we'll talk to you all soon. Bye.